Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Fusion of Honor, where we break down everything that happens on MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor. So, uh, we were supposed to have an episode last week. I do apologize for that, but for those of you who didn't know, and that's probably many of you, my girlfriend and I, we got engaged last Friday. So, planning all of that out and the actual day of and all that sort of thing, I was pretty busy, as you might imagine. So we did have to kind of put a pause on the episodes. But as it turned out, MLW put a pause on episodes for this week, and last week's episode of Ring of Honor was, decently action-packed, that we're going to do a amalgamation of the 2 weeks and basically give you what you would have had last week plus this week. It's a weird time travel-y kind of thing. So let's get straight into it, guys. But before we do, remember to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe if you have not already. So the Matt Mikowski match was really good against Dante Caballero. It was kind of a top prospects kind of match. That was the theme of the episode of Ring of Honor. Besides that, the ROH Pure match was really good. I want to say that this was well done on their part to have it be originally just a regular Pure Rules match, but then good old Dalton Castle comes out and is able to goad Josh Woods into making it a title match. Now, I think what's kind of interesting is that on his own, Dalton Castle was unable to convince him. But as soon as he mentioned Silas Young's name and said that he had something to say about the fact that Woods was not entertaining or not inspiring or not invigorating, that's what got under Josh's skin and made him agree to turn the match into a title match. And it was a good title match, but it's really cool to see the progression of Josh Woods, but also to see that Silas Young is going to be a sticking point for Woods for the foreseeable future. The match, like I said, was very good. These are 2 guys who are pound for pound some of the strongest in Ring of Honor. I want to add that Draper has really gotten a good feel for the Pure division, and being able to act like a good heel when he is using rope breaks and he doesn't want to, like that kind of just, oh, fuck, why did I do that? Like that aspect of it, it's important, because whereas Brian Johnson is the smart cheating heel, you also need sometimes a little bit more of the idiot heels. Not that Dak Draper's an idiot in any way, shape, or form, but it's more of the unaware heel of the I reached for the rope. Oh man, now I got to find a way to hurt this guy more. And because Draper's character is kind of tending to be more of a little bit of an idiot, it works out pretty well. Josh Woods retains. Match goes about 13 minutes, but a good one. Check this one out if you get the opportunity. The second match with Mikowski was also really good. I didn't really know that much about that guy. And commentary did a good job about talking about him. The only thing I will say is that commentary did such a good job talking about him that I was surprised that the match went 12 minutes long, because we haven't seen this guy in a while. And which, clearly is the case, because I had not known about this guy the entire time we've been covering Ring of Honor, which has been over a year now. I expected the match to be a lot shorter, 6 minutes maybe, but it goes a 12. Now maybe that's to help, and it's an intentional thing that's putting over Dante Caballero as a threat or as somebody who can hang, but at the same time, it's just like, you're telling me this dude is really damn good. Why isn't he putting this person away? So that part was a little discouraging. But from an in-ring action perspective, 12 minutes of some good wrestling. But speaking of good wrestling, let's turn towards MLW. And we start off with Holiday taking on Willow. Now, the Blue Meanie is out to be Willow's second, because Holodead has that Dr. Drax dude who I'm kind of concerned, why is he, all tied up in a chain and with like a weird mask on his face if he's supposed to be a doctor, but that's neither here nor there. And so because Holodead really has a bone to pick and she is known to cheat, Willow has enlisted the services of the Blue Meanie to help her even the odds. Unfortunately, it will not be effective. She is still going to take that loss to Holodead to continue that feud, continue that reason, because Holodead keeps winning. Holodead said, had a problem with Willow, but she keeps winning. Willow is the one that now has to show that fire. Willow has to be the one to pursue the matches. So it's smart that Holodead picks up the win. There is going to be another promo from the Von Erichs talking about how they have a tag title match. We are going to see a little bit of 5150 spread throughout. We're going to see a promo segment from Alex Kane and the Bome Fight Club. But it's kind of just treading water for the most part for all of these promos. Our second match of the evening is Homicide versus LA Park. The less that can be said about this, the better. Homicide does a really great job. LA Park, again, I'm not sure why he's in the ring. I'm not even sure why he won this match. But I guess it kind of makes sense because 5150 has to have a rematch at some point with Los Parks, and they might as well have a loss handed to them when it comes to, like, I guess Homicide is if Rivera and Slice Boogie are the first string, I wonder if Homicide is second string and Smokes is the third string, or if it's the other way around and Smokes is second string and Homicide is third string, because Homicide's not going to be there as often. Either way, it's not the starting players, and that's all that really matters when you have this win that you need to figure out who's going to get. We give it to the Parks because that faction needs the win now that they've taken that loss and lost the tag titles. And that takes us to the main event. And the main event is a good match. I want to say it is a very, very good match. This is, this is Tajiri putting the MLW middleweight title up against AJPW's, All Japan Pro Wrestling's Atsuki Aoyagi's. And I was very, very impressed by Aoyagi. I just want to put that out there because they were talking about how this kid is so young and he's only been wrestling for about 3 years. And I looked it up and he's 22. So he's been wrestling since he was 19. Really quality talent. He has a way around the ring. He's got the speed. He's got that agility that comes with, it's not just speed. You have to be able to use that speed properly. And he's got that agility and athleticism. And he's in the ring with a veteran like Tajiri. And when they talked about how he already owns a victory over Tajiri, and that's part of why he got this match, that just adds an interesting flavor to it, especially if you're somebody who doesn't follow that much along with AJPW. I don't as much, but I do catch it from here and there. But seeing this guy is really cool, and having this match, I gotta get my hat, take my hat off if I was wearing one, to Court Bauer and to MLW for having this match and asking if they can tape it and all that kind of stuff. You are building the prestige of the title. You are building the prestige of Tajiri as the champion, and you're also doing a solid for a potential partner in AJPW by having one of their up-and-coming talents showcased on American YouTube television. The match itself really good. Goes about 11 minutes long. Tajiri is, I've never really been super high on Tajiri, but he has a certain way about him. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of what I was thinking about this during the match. And the comp that I can think of is the old man, the old magician dude in The Prestige. Follow me for a second. Michael Caine's character tells Batman and Wolverine to go to this magic show, watch it. And Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman go to the magic show. They watch it, and they're like, how is this guy doing this, this shtick? How is he pulling off these tricks? And Hugh Jackman's trying to mimic it because he's like, how is he looks so frail and so old. How is he, suddenly doing the switcheroo and pulling this stuff out of his hat? And it's Christian Bale who rightly and correctly points out that the guy being frail and old is the act. That's the act. That's the trick. He is making you believe that he can't move when in actuality he can. So LA Park makes me believe that he can't move, and it's because he can't move. Tajiri, on the other hand, kind of always has this like sort of I am in pain look. Like he's kind of like slumped over a little bit. He's like, all right, what's going on? What am I here for? I got to beat that dude up. All right, cool. Let's ring the bell. Ring the bell. And then once he's in the ring, he still maintains this kind of like, I took a lot of bumps on my back shoulder over here, and so I got to walk with a little bit of a hunch. But then he's hitting some really wicked moves, and you're like, wait a minute, how's he pulling this off? So, like I said, while I have never been that high on Tajiri, the act of Tajiri is something that is pretty interesting to me and pretty intriguing to me, and I like seeing it. And seeing him in the ring with a 22-year-old who can bounce all over the place, it really reinforces what Tajiri is doing and how he's doing it and why what he's doing can be so important to a match. So it was an 11-minute match, but it got a lot done for what it was trying to do. Congratulations to Tajiri for retaining the MLW Middleweight Championship. I'm hoping it's not the last that we see of Aoyagi in MLW. And then shortly after the match, they do a little backstage thing where Cesar Duran is walking around. He gets talked to by Holiday and Alicia. And, there's nothing there. I swear. They're not together in character, in storyline. No, not at all. What's his name, dude? Gnarls? Not Gnarls Barkley. That Gnarls Galvin, I think was it. That dude's there to be like, hey, I'll fight for you. I'll fight for free. Like, I just want to fight people because I'm angry. It's like, dude, you sound like an idiot. And finally, he gets accosted by the world champion who says, you want to talk about building trust, and then you send that monster, Matanza Duran, after me. That's not how this is going to work. And we're starting to see there are some seeds being planted here that Duran and Hammerstone are going to have a face-off sooner rather than later. And finally, throughout the course of the episode, they talk about MLW Azteca. They're going to have the shows that they taped with the Crash down in Mexico. They're going to be airing. And we're going to see a main event of Hammerstone teaming up with Pagano versus Taurus and King Muertes. So that's something to look forward to at a later date. But until next time, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in once again to this episode of Fusion of Honor. We are coming close to having the triumphant return of Ness as part of these episodes. And thank you guys for tuning in. As always, remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, enjoy the holidays, hug your loved ones if they are able to be around you. The pandemic is still raging. Take what precautions you feel you must, right? And it just reinforces the aspect of togetherness that we all need. So until next